Here we go. And like I always say, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? Yeah, right there. A little cloudy today, but it's still a beautiful day. Okay. Now, this is primarily a response to all the blowback I've been getting when I criticize movies on YouTube and stuff. It's I really must preface what I'm about to say by pointing out, as I did just a little while ago, after receiving multiple complaints from trailer park trash, 1000cc brained young people never been nowhere and never done anything, you know, just sitting on their COVID couches and adding to their 400-pound obesity, etc., and they dare to challenge my critical analysis of movies. I want to say this first, above all, before I even begin, to point out that why I'm a natural alpha. I'm one of the real kangs of this planet, not you. First of all, as I pointed out just a little while ago, maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, I turned down Hollywood twice. First, MGM Studios, contract of unlimited length, I don't really. And then Spielberg under, what was the name? Lloyd Golsch, who was a contemporary of my brother Rolf and stuff. Turned down Hollywood twice. Turned down, even though I was guaranteed by UCLA that they would give me my first bachelor's in film, because by age 17 they knew I'd seen all of the old black and white movies, thanks to Ralph Williamson, the used car seller in San Jose, who funded the first all-night movies in this country. So, you people have no background in film critique. Don't fuck with me. And I've turned down Hollywood because it's one of the most boring, homosexual, can't keep their hands off of me, losers, don't want to be there. Screw you. Now, let me calm down a little bit, because really, when I look into somebody and start examining them and I find out that they're only, 17 to 30 years old, they've never been anywhere, they've never done anything, they have no skills, they've never been to university, they can't even speak English or write English properly, and yet they try to take me down, on my movie. One guy said critic when he's supposed to have said critique, 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 critique. You're a movie critic. No, it's critique, you asshole. And by the way, I've still got another clone video that will go up after this. And I especially want to address the, which actually all of the Caucasians are loving what I said on this recent pseudo documentary, which at the end the principal investigator says, well, we have no proof, but that's my best guess. And he previously had mentioned that it was yet unpublished, and it's been actually now 14 years and nobody will touch that piece of slime about the Cushite Black Pharaoh Kangs and Quains. Now let me set your fucking ass straight. I am not you. I come from an ancient genetic line, which thankfully both of my parents carried that. My other siblings, 7 siblings, didn't get the full double barrel blast like I did, but I did. You can't tell it right now because of the distortion of these cameras, but that's a 2200cc brain. I have 28 teeth, perfect dental arch, and my mandible and my maxilla and mandible end exactly at 28 teeth. There's no extra room for impacted wisdoms. You people, you modern, devolved humans that have 32 teeth and these tiny brains, which are now down to an average of 1400 cc's, I'm not one of you. Really. And yet you keep trying to argue with somebody who literally has twice or 3 times or 4 times or 5 times the memory and education and decades of collecting intelligence. Because as I try to tell everybody, you can be smart like me when you're born, but it takes decades to accumulate intelligence. Intelligence is the accumulation of data. If you're only 20 or 30 years old, you don't have a chance with me. I will beat you every time, which I do on social media all the time. So let's start right here. Compared to you, almost every one of you were still in diapers or other stuff, crapping in your pants when you were 3 to 5. Me, I was walking and talking at 6 months of age. My memory begins in December 1954 when I was 6 months old. My visual memory, the audio kicks in a couple years later. By the time I was 1 year old, I could use the adult toilet in my house. You didn't. You still had mommy. And that's one of the problems. Most of these modern parents, you hug and kiss and fondle your children too fucking much. You need stoic parents like mine who never talk to you like a child. My parents never talked to me like a child. From the moment I was born and talking, they talked to me like an adult. They always treated me like an adult. They showed their love not by hugging and kissing and playing and throwing balls and stupid crap like that. They showed their love by paying attention to me, even if I was outside or whatever. You know, I'd say something, they'd say something. My dad, he was actually a very good joker and stuff like that. But Dad showed his love by taking us fishing or whatever. What we wanted to do and what he wanted to do too. But this is the facts. Almost everybody on this planet is devolved. I learned this. It's now, 47 years ago, I learned in anthropology lab that humans were devolving and have been devolving since the Toba event. And I quickly learned, I didn't point out to the rest of my classmates because they were all a bunch of small-brained Californians, that I knew I was special at that point. I'd already had people tell me I was special. It was published in local California papers, and it was published in periodicals and other stuff and books worldwide. But being brought up by parents that always taught me to keep your ego in check, and my parents actually hated snotty people. They really did. Snotty, rich people that really couldn't even do what my dad or mother did or stuff like that. Most they could do was pump out 1 or 2 retarded little children, and then just scrabble and lick genitals to climb up the ranks and stuff, while my dad was just used plain old good labor and smarts and stuff like that. Actually, by the time my dad died, he left behind a huge fortune for his children. And that includes me. Actually, I earned most of mine from my dad through equity. But my point is that I was walking and talking long before the rest of you, and that's pure genetics. Your genetics are inferior. I've had a better education. I've formally attended 5 universities. You haven't. And like most people, like Professor Freeman Dyson, he'll tell you right now that the whole PhD bullshit is a crock of shit. That's why Professor Dyson, the inventor of the Dyson dome and Dyson disc and stuff like that, only has a master's, although he's been one of the most prominent physicists at 2 different universities in our history. Now, I can see I only have 5.5 minutes left. All of you people on YouTube who are at least smart enough to go over and try to glance at my videos, and you I have almost never met anybody on YouTube that produces any videos. They just come out there and all they do is criticize and shit like that. when they won't even show their face or present anything of interest to anybody. And my response to you is, fuck you, you retard, fucking trailer park trash, retarded, fucking small-brained. You're not even as good as Keira Knightley with her 1,000cc brain. She can at least recall long, monologues and stuff like that. But unlike the real world that I live in, she can call cut anytime and do it over again because she's a cute little gal. And I just want to remind all you fuckers, you think you're going to come on here and criticize me, and yet all the facts, by the time let me stop right here. By the time I was in 7th grade, around the time I turned 11 and realized I would never be an astronaut because I was already over 6 feet, 175 pounds, I was the only kid that was tested here locally 3 times. I could read, comprehend, and retain 3 to 4 times faster than any professor or teacher in a university community. And you retards out there that think just because you have a YouTube channel with no video content, you never produced any video content, other than like that one black woman the other day on the Cushite Pharaoh bullshit, who just starts the video running and stuff like that, and she's talks for an hour and a half because she can't keep her yap shut, can't stay to a time limit, and she's got a bunch of black supremacists following her, only because she is out there prompting them. I just want to remind you that in my day and throughout my life, I've proven that I'm not only smarter, faster, I can read faster, remember more, comprehend more, and you people are just so amusing. I find all these people from actually many countries who have no education, even in this country, United States of America. You come on there, and I can tell by one look at you and your profile and your channel, either on Facebook or whatever, you try to talk shit to an old man who's spent his whole life experiencing the world. Most of you never left your trailer park. I've been everywhere in the Western Hemisphere. I've read the entire National Library of Medicine. I've attended 5 universities. I've lectured at about 45 universities or more. I've written papers that were distributed globally through the International Cannabinoid Research Society and many other parties. And yet, your digital connection makes you think that your little tiny 4'6" to 5'2", 1,000cc brain is equal to mine. It's not. You're all devolved. You keep arguing with me, and you even get all your buddies. It's funny that people that have no videos up there still have like 44 subscribers. Then they call them and go, "Hey, back me up. I just took this guy down on YouTube." Everybody can see that. Anybody with brains or sense. So just remember, I'm not only the guy that found that cannabis cures cancer by replacing arachidonyl ethynolamide. My body of scientific work is not exceeded by anyone. The only person who even comes close to me in history is Sir Michael Faraday. Einstein was a loser. Tesla was a loser. And you assholes on YouTube keep attacking my simple critiques of movies, when I can tell by one look at you that you're a complete retarded nobody. And usually you give a good review because you're sexually attracted to some of the people, some of the actors or actresses, and that it doesn't matter about your sexuality on that particular movie. You will give a good review to a movie just because you're gay and you like the male lead, or you're a lesbian and you like the female lead. So this is what I got to say to you. Fuck you.